Welcome to the channel Tribe. In this session of Instagram Live, we will listen to Mahathee on her experience on working in testing hackathons.
Hi everyone. So welcome all to the Instagram live series where we take an interesting topic and get you some insight on it from the experts. So today the topic, as you know, is hackathon, like testing hackathons. But we'll move into it soon. We'll call our guest soon on the panel. But before that, a huge shout out to Browser Stack, our exclusive sponsor for all community events and premier sponsor for conferences. We thank them for their support, because of which we are able to do so much event and reach to so many people in our community. Now, before delaying much, I would like to call the guest for today on the stage. Hi, Mahathee.
Hi, Vanshika. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
So before starting and going into the technical part of the topic, I would like to know a little bit about your journey, like where you started, how you came into testing, and how you reached where you are today.
Okay. So, Happy New Year to everybody before I start. And I work as a project lead with Persistent Systems as of now. But my journey into testing was not accidental, nor rather passionate, nor rather curious. Just happened by chance. I was a developer in the beginning of my career because when you transition from a college to a working environment, you'd be trained on a certain technology or a tool or something. You'd be put into a batch. So initially, I was trained on .NET, and in the location that I stayed, Hyderabad, there were not much opportunities for .NET at that time. So I worked on support projects. So after that, I was on bench or free pool for some time. So there, I got the opportunity to move into a project management role or a testing career. So I considered the option of testing because project management was not lucrative, at least at that point of time. Initial phases of your career where you don't have an idea. Maybe in the later phases where you want to relax or keep a stability or balance in your career, you can have those kind of roles. So that was my journey pretty much. And when I started, initially I had no idea as to what I was doing because I was exploring many options. Like I was exploring if I could be a business analyst or many things, because that was the opportunities that were in front of me. So I did not have any kind of backing or support or help to analyze options. I did all the checks by myself at that point of time. But I landed up with testing, and yeah, pretty much. And I would say out of my 8+ years of career, 5 years into testing, 5+ years. So it's been good. And 2020 was the best phase because I met Ajay and Rahul and a lot of like-minded folks and interaction with the test drive community. I've never known community spaces existed for testing or people, or where testers could get involved or interact with people. So that was pretty much.
That sounds really great, and like I totally understand where you say that after college you pretty much go into a development,
Yes.
because that's what you learn in college. Because I have also done computer science engineering, and
Yes.
like mostly you learn about development stuff in college, and then you don't have exactly the idea of what testing is.
Oh,
So
yes.
it's great that you got that option to move into testing, and now you're liking it. And 5+ years, that's a great thing. So, so moving on to the topic for today, my question to you is, how did you first become interested in participating in a testing hackathon? And if you can tell us a little bit about, testing hackathons in general.
Okay. So, just like community testing, hackathons were also a pretty new concept to me, at least. The first time I've heard of it was in the pandemic itself, 2020, 2021. So, I wanted to participate in the first Axel Q hackathon by the test drive, but I was not very confident at that point of time because I was not. I mean, I was having so many doubts in my mind, and I was very skeptical rather, to participate, or whether to consider even a hackathon would be good for me, or what will be a show of my skills, and what is my strength, what is my weakness. So many factors to consider. But when I missed the first hackathon, there was a regret in me that if I would have participated, at least I would have got the first hand experience as to how a hackathon would be and how a hackathon would taste. Rather than getting insights from other people, if you experience a hackathon all by yourself, that would be pretty much different, and you have a good picture or good insights to give to people as well. So the first hackathon I missed, but the second hackathon, thanks to good friends like Rahul and Himani, and many other people in the community, they encouraged me. And also Ajay, my mentor, always tells me that don't miss any opportunity. Every opportunity is an experience, a potential place to show or exhibit your skills. So that was how I at least took part in the first hackathon without much thought. So it was a very good experience, and I relished every bit of it.
Got it, got it. So, like, while you're talking about your experience of your first hackathon, can
Yes.
you probably elaborate on, how you felt when you started, and what kind of problems were there to solve, and how you approached it?
The first hackathon was Signathon, I think, by the Test Tribe itself, the first version of Signathon, at least in the virtual format. So I just, when the notification came out, probably I was again skeptical, although I had fears. But I always pop up in the ending or the last moment. I make up a decision, so I came about. The first thing in the hackathon is, I would say, preparation. From many winners or successful people who have been part of the hackathon, I would see the planning and the preparation stage is the first part. But you would think, okay, I'm not prepared. I don't have any organized way of doing things. So how would I go about it? But just take it and see, for the first time, probably you can experiment, or you can keep it for experimentation phase, where you can experience it and understand. And also, one of the I didn't face any challenges as such, because it was a pretty new format. Formation of the team is the second one. So whether to go in single or to go in with a set of partners. So to go in single, I did not have that courage at that point of time, at least. And I did not know whether the format suited me going single or going as partners. So I just formed a team very randomly without any kind of insights. Luckily, I had few friends in my first team was a very good team, and I would cherish that. They were called the Powerpuff Girls, all girls team, four of us. So the first, Himani was a friend from the community. So pretty good interaction with her. And I have another friend called Lavanya Mohan, very much senior to me, but a very good working interaction I had with her. So she was one of the persons whom I had a really very good rapport with. And the third person was Pallavi, who was a fresher or a newbie, but she was excellent in terms of her testing. And she was from Rahul's organization, IFM Engineering, which has very good testers. And I considered her because of Rahul's thought process. I didn't know her much, but she was an asset to our team. And about me, if you know how I work, you should ask my team members. And so the second part is the team formation. And the third part, now on the hackathon day, what should you be ready with, or what should you have handy? I did not know that. We just went in as a team. And after the apps were announced, we pretty much formed our strategy and we began testing. And in the and when the apps were given, or when the applications were given, we just thought in such a way that every person in the team should be able to contribute, because there would be some people who would be having challenges on the automation front or on the coding front. They would not be having much idea. So the idea is pretty much that everybody has a good hackathon experience. So based on that, we made our decision. And yeah, and the fourth thing is, people think a hackathon only has technical participation contests, You have other contests also, like you have a social media contest, or you have many other ways of participating, fun games that are being organized if you really want to win something. So that was pretty much about my first hackathon experience, and it was a memorable one too.
Understood. Understood. Sounds really fun.
Yeah.
So next question I have for you is, so people who are watching us right now, why should one participate in a hackathon? Like, uh, what is the reason that you would tell to the people watching us that why should they start participating in a hackathon?
Okay, so the choice is very much personal. If they would like to observe, they can be an observant in the first hackathon, or if they want to participate, they can participate also. But I would say in our daily job or in our daily work, at least, there would be no persons to correct or no persons to judge or assess your skills. You would be doing some work, and if there is some corrections, your lead or somebody who's your peer would definitely tell you what are the corrections. And you don't have any time bound learning, or I mean, if in a hackathon you have a time bound way of learning, I mean, you should quickly able to gauge the product, and how are you going to strategize, how are you going to plan your testing, and all you should plan. So basically, in your daily work, you don't have something like that unless you have some bug bashes or something being organized as a part of your team. So if you participate in a hackathon, it is a test for your metal, not METAL, METTLE. It's your strength. Metal is your skill or strength. So you would be able to understand what areas you're strong in, or what areas you're lacking, or you need to get good at. So it's not people judging you, it's you judging for yourself. And it's also a way of showing your visibility. Sometimes opportunities come in the form of showing up. Not every opportunity is like you have to win this competition, or you have to get selected in an interview, or you have to get selected somewhere. Some places are places where you just need to show up, do your bit, and go. So that is pretty much the reason I would say everybody to make use of every opportunity you get. Some things sometimes you might even miss also, but that's okay. But try to make use of most of the opportunities, and learn from people and network with people. That'll give you so many insights that you don't know, and you might get better at your work also.
That's so true because right now, like with so many opportunities around us, like with
Yes.
advancement of internet and everything has moved digitally, you can do so much, and the least you can do is just be there and you know observe all the opportunities and take it. So that's a really inspiring thing that you said, Mahati.
Yes.
So the next question I have for you is, how can you grow your career by participating in hackathons?
Grow your career, as I said earlier, first is your visibility increases. And when your visibility increases, once people start noticing you, automatically they will make impressions anyhow, whether you're good or you're bad, there will be an impression that is formed. But my experience as for growing in career was, I at least knew my mistakes. Mahesh has been a really good mentor to me. In the initial stages of hackathons, I would not understand whether I wrote, whether I did something properly, or whether I did not do something properly. But there were friends who helped me how to assess myself at least. Mahesh used to tell me feedback as to how can I, in the first few hours, how many bugs can you log? And although bug count is not a metric, but in the first few hours, how can you get effective? How should you take breaks? How should you plan your hackathons? So many good things have been suggested. And also I've learned from Ajay how to be how hackathons, how participating in hackathons will give your career a boost. So I've been a meticulous follower of Ajay. So he I believe he whatever advice comes from him is through experience, and so that has helped me in a way or the other. And now the winner's words, Rahul, who has been a serial winner, at least observing him and things that he does, has also benefited me indirectly and has impacted my career. For example, in the ZenQuest hackathon that had taken place in 21 or 22, I was immensely benefited because I was looking for a career change, but was not very serious although. So although I have not won hackathon at that moment of time, but getting job opportunities or referrals or a position where people said they would directly hire me without any kind of an interview is really very makes you happy, and that you're getting noticed. So I would say every person, and there were some cash incentives also from some companies. Although I did well or did not do well, people personally like you. People also reward you for showing up, like I said. So Assembly was that one app where I got such a kind of an offer. And so many things, like people started talking to me. So these are some of the areas I think it has boosted my career, and I'm still learning. And this would continue. So basically, I would say the crux of it is you would get a visibility and reputation. Not all visibility and reputation is only through LinkedIn or making a blog. There are other ways also how you could gain visibility, and one of this is hackathons.
Understood. Got it. So the next question I have for you is related to, technicalities of a
Yeah.
hackathon. So, uh, in your experience of going to hackathons and participating in them, what type of testing challenges have you encountered and how did you approach them?
Okay, one of the challenges I would say is uh, everybody has a pattern of learning. Okay, my learning style was very much slow. I would say very slow, the slowest learner possible, at least in the initial stages of the hackathon. So, when you observe people and how they target and how they learn, you can improve your learning technique first thing. So the learning was different compared to my first, second, third, fourth hackathon experience. So, and you will learn quicker ways of doing things by observing people. One of the greatest way or a proven way to succeed in anything is to observe a person first and then imitate them, try, and you might fail also. So basically, this was a challenge for me. This was the second challenge. Although you observe people, and imitation is a very hard skill. People think imitating is very easy. You can't imitate. You can imitate after you have tried it potentially for a substantial amount of time. So this was one more. And I didn't have a ready-made toolkit, at least for the first two or three hackathons. So by the fourth or fifth hackathon, at least, I had something which was handy. Not all, but at least some. I could say at least 7 or 8 things that I had handy, and this was again thanks to Rahul's toolkit. I'm mentioning frequently Rahul is because whatever I've learned is because of him or because of his ways of doing things. So that was another thing. I didn't have sufficient exposure to tools, and I didn't even I've never used Postman, honestly. So in our office, for API testing, we used Rest Assured. So I was not familiar with basic tools itself, like Postman, or how to use Charles Proxy or Fiddler, or getting hands-on with tools. So participating in hackathons also helps you learn or understand tools quickly and how they apply to your context. So this was one challenge. So these are the three things I have faced, and those were certain ways that.
Got it. Understood. So, other question I have for you is that when you go to a hackathon with a team, it's really important that the team dynamic is really
Yes.
good because you have to work well together for those hours of hackathon. So, how do you ensure that you have a good team? So, what all do you look into your team members when you go to a hackathon?
This is a good question, because the essence of any event is people participating in it, right? So, in the first hackathon, I did not look for anything as such. I had a really good team, people who were committed or people who did not need any kind of a push. Himani was very good, very responsible, and very good with her topic. So each one in our team had a skill. Lavanya was very, very good, had a very good technical expertise. So I was very good with social media posting and a little bit of testing and things like that. I was overall. So, and Himani was good with documentation. Then Pallavi, although was a newbie, she was very good in testing and she could quickly find out issues. And so we didn't have any challenges in the first hackathon. And every team that I participated in every hackathon was relatively new. It was not that I was repeating a pattern or repeating people. I've never repeated a team till date. Probably I may repeat in the future hackathons, maybe. But till date, everything was new. But people say you should have you should give them smaller chances before you pick for the larger ones. But there is a mixed opinion on this. I have asked some of my friends, and their approach was also in the way I thought. I would say you never know how people are, even though you give smaller chances or bigger chances, or you think that shows their credibility. I feel for me, if a person is committed to an event, or if they don't require any kind of a push, that is my first way to get them as a part of my team. I don't want people who are nagging or people who require a constant push or tell what you have to do at each point of time. When you get an app or an application to test, you should pitch into the event and tell your views as to what you want to test or what you want to do. You should also have a bit of inclination or interest. Some people might not have that interest, but at least they'll quickly jump in at the time of the event and they will quickly start doing things. So that is also okay for me. I don't see credibility and all as a score. Because I form teams with the most random people. For me, their inclination and interest at that moment is very, very important rather than showing up or being credible or having a reputation or all the other factors.
Understood.
Yes.
Yeah, and it makes sense that, someone who will be involved during the hackathon time
Yes.
is someone that you want in your team.
And also,
So
you
totally
don't
understand.
want people to back off in the middle of an event. When
Yeah,
you have committed to something, just be there for your team. Whether you do it well or you don't do it well, nobody is here to judge you, or nobody is here to rather criticize you. So if you have signed up for a 36-hour hackathon, if you're facing any difficulty, if you're not able to test or if you're not able to find bugs, it's okay. Nobody is going to tell you have found 16 bugs in 1 hour, so you're good, or you have found just 3 bugs in an hour, you're bad. So it's not a count or a metric calculation that's going on. It's all about participation and having fun and learning in the best way possible.
yeah, understood. So before asking the last question from you, I would ask our audience who is watching us to drop any questions that you have for Mahathee,
Sure.
and we'll take it after this last question. So my last question for you is, what advice would you have for someone who is considering to participate in a hackathon for the first time?
Okay. Like I think I've already answered this question as a part, but still I would say, uh, just uh, just accept the chance. Just know that you are going to make the best decision for your life, and you will be learning something new which you have never done, or maybe you would have done as a part of your internal organization event with a limited set of people. This would be a larger group, so just don't panic. Be yourself, learn as much as you can, come with preparation, or go through testimonials of winners, or go through certain good articles that will help you with hackathons. Or there is a book by Ajay on 50 plus tips to win testing contests, and Rahul had also wrote a similar article, and there's another good article by Prashant Hegde as well. I will be sharing these three links in the Test Drive Discord channel. So these are three amazing resources that you can read and gauge the experience, and just go and enjoy since it's your first time, Don't have any expectations. Enjoy your learning, reflect on your learning, write a blog and share your experience, or write a post on LinkedIn, which will be rather simpler. Or you can interact with somebody before taking part, and that will help your first time participation.
Got it. Understood. Understood. So, that was a really good advice for the people who are, going to participate for the first time. So, thank you so much, Mahathee. It was great hosting you, Mahathee.
Thank you,
Like,
Anshika. Thank you
it
for
made
considering me for the first live for this year.
no problem, no problem. It was a great start to the year.
Thank you.
Definitely a topic that not most people talk about,
Yes.
since testing hackathon is a very new concept to I think a lot of people. Because when you think of hackathon, it's always it might be something related to
Yes.
development. Yeah, so
Hackathons were mostly common in the development space, at least, and hackathons were known as bug bashes in the testing space, or mostly from my interactions with people. So, I mean, for me also it was new testing hackathon. I knew testathon and all this, but now the
yeah,
people come up with fancy names: agileathon, testathon, hackathon, bugathon. So, whatever it is, just participate, have fun, and measure your learning and reflect on your experience. So that'll help you a lot.
definitely,
And I would
definitely. And
like to
the amount,
thank Ajay also, because this topic would not have come without him, because as I was considering what topic to speak on, so there were a lot of things that I thought. So I wanted to do something relevant to the community, which will help many people or many testers think about, go back and think and take their first step. So yeah.
definitely, definitely. So after today's talk, I'm sure a lot of people will go back and search up for some hackathons that are happening around them,
Yes.
and they'll try to join them.
Yes.
So I think there are no more questions. So I think that's the end. Thank you so much, Mahathee, for joining us on a Saturday evening.
Thank you.
And giving your knowledge of participating in hackathons to us. It
Yes.
was a great session. And the way you broke down, not just the technical skills,
Yes.
but you broke down the mental, like what you're feeling when you go to a hackathon. Because I think the first thing that you feel is that probably you're not enough you don't have the enough skills to go to a hackathon, right?
Yeah.
So, you broke down everything and you made everyone understand that being there is enough and you learn by being there.
Yes.
So that was the whole crux of the whole session was great. Thank you so much for departing that knowledge to all. So thank you all for joining in, and thank you to our sponsors, Browser Stack, once again. We'll meet everyone in another IG Live with some other topic, some other interesting topic where you will gain some insights through our experts. So till then, have a nice weekend and bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.